Hello everyone and welcome back for another tutorial with me, You're a Monkey. In this tutorial, you will learn how to make this exact living room, including the super sexy light fixture. I'm very excited to show you how to build all of this, so let's get started, shall we? You'll need to start with a 4x4 area, and the ceilings need to be at least 5 high. And we're going to start in this corner with 3 fireplaces, and we're going to slide them into each other so it looks like one giant fireplace. And then we'll grab a trophy mount and throw on the monkey boss head. And now we'll grab some catwalks. I'm going to tuck one into the fireplace, skip a spot, and then place another one and do the exact same thing on the other side. We will also be putting an extra one in between these two, 1 row lower. And we'll remove the paint and it should look like this. So now we're going to remove the 2 walls that are around the catwalk on the very end on both sides. We're going to place 3 small crop plots on there, and then we're going to place an artifact pedestal on top and fill it with the artifact of chaos from Extinction just because it looks so amazing. You can fill your crop plots with narco berries or stim berries or whatever the heck you want as long as it's one of the small plants. And you want to make sure to seed them now. You will be able to fertilize them, but you won't be able to access the actual crop plots. So seed them now, get that over and done with, and then we're going to replace the walls. And now we're going to mosey on over to the catwalks that are attached to the fireplaces. We're going to grab a vessel, place it on each side, and then we're going to take a mortar and pestle and slide it into the vessel. And now we're going to create our little painting displays. We're going to grab a mortar and pestle and place it, and we're going to place another one and then our canvas, and that's how we do it. Then grab a trophy mount and we're going to place it in the center there, and we'll end up placing some tech lights on that, but we're going to repeat the same process with the paintings on this side and also the trophy mount. We got to have symmetry, otherwise it just drives me bonkers. And that's what this should look like now. Now we're going to work on our desk area with a computer. We're going to place 2 sets of stairs in this hole here that I've taken out the foundations. I took them out just so that I could line this up properly. I want to have the same distance away from the foundation on both sides, so I'm using the stairs to line this up, and we'll make a little computer chair. And now we can replace the foundations and start making our desk area. Start with a gravestone, slam it to the back, then grab some bookshelves. We're going to slide that right into the wall so it's only the book part sticking out, and then we're going to grab a second one and slide it into the previous one. And now we're going to grab some tables and we're going to stretch this out a bit. And we're going to place 2 more tables. And I actually forgot to place the leash for the mouse, so we're going to remove that table, place the leash, and deactivate it, of course, so we don't have the red flashy, and replace the desk. And now we'll grab a metal wall sign and place it as the keyboard, and then we will finish off our chair by adding another gravestone and an artifact pedestal as the seat. And now we'll grab some small boxes and we're just going to finish off our desk to make it look nice and clean and have a little bit of something to it instead of just a plain old table. Also, placing these boxes hides the gravestone that is sticking down in behind the table so you won't see it. As decorators, we need to hide a lot of stuff. And now we'll grab a catwalk and place it just above the desk so it looks like a little shelf, and we'll place some mortar and pestles, a vessel, and we'll just make it look cute. And now that we're done that, we're going to move on to the fish tank. As you can see here, I've lowered the foundations 4 times. I'll post a link here showing how to lower the foundations, and then I've gone and added metal walls 2 double door frames, and then we're going to place greenhouse walls on top of all of that and then seal it in with a metal ceiling. You'll need 3 metal ceilings, and it should sit lower and it should look really classy. And then we're going to place in some crop plots and a whole bunch of taxidermy stands. So now we're going to work on our seating area. We're going to remove both of these foundations like this, and we're going to place 4 gravestones along the back and then start placing the arms. And now we'll work on the love seat. It will be only 2 gravestones wide. So we'll place it like this, and we'll place in the backs, and then we'll replace the foundations. We'll place 2 benches in the big couch, and then in the love seat, we're going to actually use 3 of the wooden chairs. We're going to slide them back inside the gravestone so you can't see them except for the sitting part. And now we'll grab some artifact pedestals, and we're going to fill in the bottom of the love seat and the couch and just make it look that much more classy. Now place a shag rug, and then we're going to grab 4 benches and we're going to place them all side by side, straight in a line, just like so. Okay, so we're going to start by placing some tech lights in the bottom of this. We're going to place 1 tech light in each square. We're going to turn them all on, and then we're going to start placing crop plots so that we can raise up the levels of our taxidermy stands. You can fill this with however many fish you want, however many plants you want. I'm going to put some sable root in each one of these. They will be at different levels, so it gives kind of like, a floaty plant simulation going on inside the tank to make it look like we have plants growing. So I'm not going to talk too much about this. You can just watch. I'm going to fill the planters with what they need, and then I'm going to place all the taxidermy stands, and I'm just putting in the regular coleuscents, and they'll look like an amazing fish tank when this is all finished. On a side note, while we're here, I just wanted to mention that when I do builds like this, I do have an extra hiding wall that goes around each room that I'm doing so that you can't see what I have tucked away. So like where I slid the bookshelves through the wall, that kind of stuff, you don't have to worry about that popping into another room. It's always good to have like a good safety level, in between your floors even, and then that way you can hide taxidermy stands and make things look just slightly more realistic. And when you're placing your taxidermies, just remember to place them in slightly different angles so that it gives a little bit more depth to your build and makes it look like the fish are actually swimming around this tank. And here I'm just adding some of the smaller crop plots just to give a little bit of a height difference, and I'm adding in some more taxidermies to add some more fish. Now we're going to come across and add a whole bunch of catwalks all the way across, and you guessed it, we're going to grab some medium crop plots. We're going to put these all the way across, and put in our irrigation, which will attach to the hidden irrigation that I have behind the secret hidden wall. And yeah, we'll just continue placing the medium crop plots all the way across. The way this last one places is kind of off, but if you actually start from both of the outside walls and work your way in, it works perfect. We're going to pause for just 1 second. So a lot of you know that I frequent a lot of Discords. Last week I was in Aaron Longstaff's Discord, and I came across this guy who made this amazing tree. He called it a futuristic tree, and I kind of freaked out because I absolutely fell in love with it. And I kind of felt like it needed to be shared with everyone. I really don't know how to pronounce their names, so I'm not going to attempt it and butcher it, but I will show you how to do this, and thank you for posting this. So we're going to start by placing a vertical pipe and then add a water reservoir onto it. And then we're going to take our tech lights and we're going to start placing it, and it literally creates a sphere shape for us. So you just have to sort of follow around. It may not be perfect. I mean, you can spend hours and hours placing these absolutely perfect, but it's not necessary. It still looks super amazing, even if there's little bits of holes in it. I think it gives it a little bit of character, and I'm absolutely in love with this. Like, it just makes the most perfect sphere shape. And we're just going to speed this up slightly so it's not so boring, because it's literally just placing tech lights over and over and over again. Here I'm just going to take out the ceiling section because it is driving me crazy and it's making it really difficult to place these. So we'll just remove those for now, and then we'll put them back in after. Also, I'm not going to be making the full sphere for this because I'm just making it as a light fixture, so I want it to look like it is just attached to the ceiling. So there's just going to be a couple little bumps that'll stick out the top, but that's what our safety area is for. So this is just how it will be left off, and I'm not going to paint this. I'm going to actually leave it the way it is because I really like the way this looks. And that, my friends, is going to be the end of this tutorial. I'm going to go and throw some paint on this, and then I will give a grand tour. And this is the final project. If you have stuck through this entire tutorial, thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you around for the next one. If you like this, make sure to let me know. Like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep putting out more stuff. Again, thank you so much for supporting this channel. You have yourself a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.